Welcome. Today I'm gonna show you how to do a self-cut. We're gonna start the haircut. We're gonna use the cutting scissors and we're gonna use 3 fingers touching the scalp. We are gonna make cuts in a horizontal position in a 90-degree angle. We are gonna cut all the way to the back. We're gonna start with the middle section first. We're gonna use 3 fingers touching the scalp in the front area and we're gonna use 2 fingers touching the scalp in the back. Then we're gonna connect the guideline we did in the middle with the left side and the right side. In this part we are only using the mirror in the front. Then we're gonna use the mirror in the front and another one smaller in the hand to continue the cut with the clippers on the sides. In this case the guideline is gonna be the size of our fingers. Connect the guideline we did in the middle with the right side. Remember, on the back we used 2 fingers touching the scalp. Level the guideline on top with the right side. Connect the third lateral section with the existing hair on the sides. Now connect the guideline we did on top with the left side. Remember, in the front we used 3 fingers touching the scalp, and in the back we used 2 fingers touching the scalp. Level the guideline we did on top with the right side. Level the third lateral section with the existing hair on the sides. Continue with the left side. We're gonna use number 6 and we're gonna use it in a diagonal position to avoid making lines. We are using number 6 on the third lateral section. We're gonna level the hair we cut on top with scissors with number 6. We're gonna use number 3 a bit lower than we use number 6 and we're gonna cut in a diagonal position to avoid making lines. Cut all the way to the back or middle of the head. Use number 2 a bit lower than we use number 3 and continue cutting in a diagonal position. Use the 1.5 a bit lower than we use number 2 and continue cutting all the way to the back or middle of the head in a diagonal position. All the guards from number 8 to 1.5, we are gonna use it with a closed blade. We're gonna use number 1 with an open blade, mostly using the border of the guard, and we're gonna use it a bit lower than we use the 1.5. Focus in only clearing the darker areas from left to right. As you can see, I'm using the bigger mirror behind the camera and I'm using a smaller mirror in my hand. Use number 1 with a closed blade and use it a bit lower than we used it with an open blade and continue cutting the darker areas from left to right. We are using number 1 with a closed blade a bit lower than we used it with the open blade. We are cutting all the way to the back or middle of the head. This can be another technique. Look straight to the bigger mirror so you can see the small mirror behind your head. We are making the entire haircut without making guidelines. Now open the blade to use the 0.5 or half and use it a bit lower than we used number 1 with a closed blade. Cut from left to right and we are only clearing the darker areas. Use the 0.5 until the back or middle of the head. Close the blade to use number 0 and use it a bit lower than we used the 0.5 or half and continue cutting from left to right, only clearing the darker areas. Clean with the brush the cutted hair, and the rest of the hair on the bottom we're gonna cut using the trimmer. Don't bring the trimmer too high to avoid making a line. Focus in cutting the darker areas. Use the trimmer until the back or middle of the head. Now we're gonna make the right side. We're gonna continue with the same procedure. We're gonna use number 6 and we're gonna use it in a diagonal position to avoid making lines. We're gonna connect the third lateral section with the hair we cut with scissors at the beginning. Use number 3 a bit lower than we use number 6 and continue in a diagonal position, avoiding making lines. We're gonna use number 2 a bit lower than we use number 3, and we're gonna continue in a diagonal position. Use the 1.5 a bit lower than we use number 2 and continue cutting from right to left until the back or middle of the head. Use number 1 with an open blade, focusing only using the border of the guard, and continue cutting from right to left until the back or middle of the head, focusing only in cutting the darker areas. Use number 1 with a closed blade, focusing only using the border of the guard, and continue blending from right to left until the back or middle of the head. Open the blade to use the 0.5 or half. We are blending from right to left using the border of the blade, only cutting the darker areas. We are using the 0.5 or half a bit lower than we use number 1 with a closed blade. Close the blade to use number 0 and continue using only the border of the guard, and continue blending from right to left, and we are using it a bit lower than we use the 0.5 or half. Blend the hair all the way to the back or middle of the head. The rest of the hair on the bottom, cut it using the trimmer. We are using the trimmer without going too high to avoid making a line. I usually don't wear the haircut as short as this, but I want to cut it this short for the video to show you that it's possible making it till the skin. I use number 1 for my haircuts, so we couldn't stop where we use number 1 with a closed blade and then make the edges with the trimmer. This is the final result. This was a self-made fade. We did the haircut without making guidelines. I hope you like my video. Thanks for watching and see you next time. These are some of my previous videos. I invite you to watch them. If you like them, hit the like button, share it, and subscribe.